Coronavirus cases in the U.S. are on the rise, with 37 states seeing an uptick in daily cases over the past 7 days. And one of those states is right here in New York, where Governor Andrew Cuomo recently unveiled new lockdowns for 9 so-called hotspots where cases are surging. New York reported more than 1,000 new cases yesterday. Granted, that's a big decrease from the high of more than 11,000 back in April, when the state was the epicenter of the outbreak here in the U.S. Still, nearly 900 people in New York are currently hospitalized with the virus. Cuomo discusses what he has learned in his new book, American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. And Governor Cuomo joins us now. Good morning, Governor. I want to get right to it because we're at a delicate moment here in this country. Everyone seems to agree the fall is going to be challenging. What are you doing to prepare?
Good morning. Good to be with you. Well, look, the experts all said that the fall was going to be challenging, right? The weather changes, people go indoors, schools start, et cetera. And we're anticipating that in New York. Statewide, we have one of the lowest infection rates in the United States of America. And New Yorkers are very proud about that. We had the highest rate of infection when this started because we were ambushed by the virus. Now we have one of the lowest. But what we're doing is we are targeting what we call micro clusters. So when we see a small group of cases, we are the firefighters who rush in to stamp it out before it takes off. So we have several areas in the state that are small. They're about two square miles. But wherever we see cases popping up, that's where we jump.
Yeah, Governor, they are small, but people are concerned about the fall. As you mentioned, the markets are concerned. The rest of the country is concerned. The places that are restricted now, those hotspots, they have about 6% positivity rate, an infection rate of 6%. Can we assume that will be your benchmark for deciding if a statewide shutdown is required?
Well, our numbers are so low relative to other states. Our worst areas are about 5–6%. Many states are above 5–6% across the entire state, right? So what we do is our overall infection rate is about 1%, which is very low.
So
wherever we see...
But, Governor, if the overall rate, as you mentioned, other states are already above 5%, these hotspots are above 6%, and they've got restrictions. Would we see a second shutdown if the state level, the overall numbers, get above 6%? Same standard.
Oh, well, look, I never want to get that high. So what we're going to do is do more restrictions on any clusters that start. And that's how you stop it from getting statewide, right? That's one of the points. Let's learn the lessons from the past 7 months. Yeah. This is deja vu all over again. We're having the same conversation we had when this virus started. We've learned a lot. Let's acknowledge what we've learned, you know. Yeah. Otherwise, we're just going to repeat the whole situation in the fall. We're still talking about whether or not we should wear masks. I mean, how ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it is a remarkable thing. But I do want to talk about lessons learned. And it would seem that one of the bigger mistakes we can all agree on was back in March, the state of New York sending sick, COVID-positive seniors back to nursing homes. Thousands died in those nursing homes, no matter how you count it, a big portion of the overall death toll. Knowing what you know now, looking back, I got to assume you would do things differently.
Look, there's no doubt that we learned lessons. On the nursing homes, the first point is that's how we were introduced to this virus, right? It was a nursing home in the state of Washington. The virus preyed on the weak, and it preyed on people in nursing homes. And most of the lives lost, the single greatest percentage is in nursing homes, and that's true all across the country. And there's also no doubt that we're in this hyper-political environment, so everybody wants to point fingers. New York, actually, we're number 46 out of 50 in terms of percentage of deaths in nursing homes. 46 out of 50. So, yes, people died in nursing homes. Yes, we've learned a lot of lessons. But 46 out of 50, it's not a predominantly New York problem. If we had to do it all over again, Tony, I would do things differently. I would not have waited for the federal government.
Yeah, you made that clear in your book.
I'm sorry?
This is Gail speaking to you, Governor. You made it very clear about lessons learned and the mistakes you've made. But what I found so fascinating about your book, you took us through a TikTok from the beginning, how it started, what we were learning. I felt in real time We were learning what you were thinking and the decision-making process. You said, listen, there's no blueprint for any of this. You said you had to develop trust, and trust leads to truth. So 19 days in, when you ordered that lockdown, how did you think, or did you think people would pay attention to what you were saying? Because none of us had been in this situation before.
You know, Gail, you raise a very good point, and it was unspoken at the time. This was not really about government action. This was, yes, I'm governor of the state of New York, but I can sign a piece of paper that orders people to stay home and orders businesses closed and schools closed. But that doesn't mean they're going to follow. Government, frankly, doesn't have the authenticity to take these kinds of actions or the enforcement capacity. So it was really about getting people to understand the problem so that the people actually agreed to take these actions to protect themselves. That's why it was unlike anything I've ever done before. It was people understanding the facts and sharing information and informing themselves so they could do the right thing to protect their own family.
But you know
and
what?
That was my posture all through this.
Yeah, I felt, though, many people felt you were the only one who was telling us anything. You know, you gave us hard truths. You didn't try to sugarcoat when we needed to hear the truth. And you also talked about your own vulnerabilities. You're a bona fide girl dad. You've got 3 daughters that even they were saying to you, Dad, what's the deal? Your brother, Chris Cuomo, went through a very nasty battle. You had a mom who you hadn't seen, like many people hadn't seen their mom. And you exposed a lot of your own vulnerabilities. And I'm wondering, as a governor of the state, how you were navigating that, also navigating your own personal duties, too.
Yeah. You know, Gail, you're right. I had a sense, once I knew what we were looking at and the consequences, I knew it was unlike anything we had ever done before. And I think the rule book went out the window. People in this partisan atmosphere, they're not going to listen to a politician. Right. They're not going to listen to a governor. Nobody trusts anyone. I said to the people, basically, this is Andrew. My mother is Matilda. These are my daughters. This is my situation. My situation is like your situation. I'm in the same place that you are in. This is not just about information. It's about emotion. And I'm feeling the emotion that you're feeling. And I'm afraid for my family. Yeah. So let's work this through together. And I will tell you the truth. So help me God. Good, bad, indifferent. I'm not going to filter facts. Facts are facts. Yeah. But let's share and work together and get through this.
Yeah, and that puts you...
And that's still where we are. Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of us are still afraid. That puts you at odds with the President of the United States. You write this: the difference between Trump and a great leader is like asking him not to act in his self-interest is like asking a skunk not to smell. That's kind of like poking the bear, Governor. Are you getting ready for the incoming that's coming your way shortly?
Look, I've been taking incoming from day one, Gail, right?
All right, yes.
I have no problem taking the incoming. But I think at this point, okay, I want people to have the information to protect themselves.
Got it.
Everyone is worried about their family. Get the facts,
right,
inform yourself, and that's what I'm trying to get done.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much. The name of the book is American Crisis. It's on sale today, wherever you like to buy your books. Thank you, Governor Cuomo.